Wait till I get older, nigga.
Yo, what's up? It's your host, P Motion, and I'd like to welcome you back to day 2, behind the scenes Q&A of Cede the Throne.
Can you share the creative process behind making Cede the Throne?
Absolutely. Before I get into this video, hey man, I just want to take this moment to shout out a few people because it's a part of my creative process. Hey, I want to shout out my boy Lil C843. Yo, I want to also shout out my boy Underdog. I want to shout out a phenomenal family called the Southwoods. Levi, my brother, man. I want to shout out my brother Levi. I want to shout out Cassie. I also want to shout out their beautiful kids, Zoe. I also want to shout out Leo. Hey, man, listen. Thank you guys. Thank all of you guys so much for what you did for me while I was away and living abroad. But yeah, man, the creative process for me was all about getting closure. That's one of the biggest takeaways about the creative process. A lot went into it, but it was all about getting closure. Growing up, I never really had therapy. I never really sought therapy. My family didn't speak about therapy, but when I look back at creating the entire album, the whole album, it just became my therapy, right? I never saw myself as an independent artist, so I never saw myself on this side of the camera. So music became my therapy. Music became my vessel and my vehicle to express myself. So when you ask me the creative process, for me it was waking up at 6 a.m. creating the content to where I was, or the ability to create content where I was pouring out myself on paper and recording it and doing audio drafts, which those audio drafts ultimately became songs. Going to the gym right after doing the audio drafts, going to work for 10 hours a day, getting off, going back to the gym, trying to find the peace and keeping my heart pure and keeping my intentions clean. Oftentimes I slipped and I failed, but I never quit and I picked myself back up. But 14, 15 months ago, this is when all this was occurring. I was living in my truck. Nobody really knew this. I was living in my truck. I was sleeping out of my 2020 Silverado. I was taking showers wherever I could. I was scraping and scrapping meals wherever I could, and no one saw the dark part. Some people outside looking in would call it a curse, but for me, it was a beautiful blessing, right? I was dealing with things inside of me that needed to be dealt with. And it was the ability to be away from my home and the ability to be away from my comfortability level or my comfort setting was allowing me to deal with and, really press down and press the issues through. So, like I said, I want to thank those individuals, man. I want to thank all those individuals for being there when I needed them and they didn't know that I needed them, man. The Southwood family, thank you guys for opening your home to me. I know you guys didn't have to, but I want to say thank you to them. Hey, my boy 843, Lil C, thank you for also opening your home and your recording studio to me as well, man. Shout out to him, man. Y'all go check him out. Underdog, me and Underdog met, via the phone, but every time we chat, man, it was just always this energy of positivity and radiance, and you know what I'm saying? Just keep going and that hunger. So, it trickled into me as well. So I appreciate everybody. That's the creative process for me, was just getting closure, finding closure, getting the needed therapy that I never got, that I'd always needed. And I'm thankful for it. Thank you guys very much. See you on the next one.
Wait till I get older, nigga.